What's your problem? I said, what's your problem?
If you're a cyberpunk looking to kick ass and chew bubblegum, They Live is the movie that's all out of bubblegum. A minor hit when it arrived in cinemas in 1988, They Live has grown to become one of the craziest and most beloved cult classics from cinema legend John Carpenter. The concept is unique, bold, and downright insane. A working-class drifter teams up with construction workers and street preachers to take on aliens that have treated the Earth like its own third-world exploit. How do they get away with it? Television stations transmit signals directly into the human brain. It puts them into a sleep-like state so that the populace is unable to see the world for what it really is.
Blow it out your ass.
The film tackles heavy topics like consumerism, Reagan-era politics, and the ruling class. It does this through a lens of 80s action and high-concept sci-fi. They Live is definitely a fun and unique cyberpunk movie you gotta see. There are some movies that just have the hipness factor built into its DNA. Back to the Future has the DeLorean. Ghostbusters has the proton packs. John Wick has Keanu Reeves being Keanu Reeves. But They Live is a bit more special, because the coolest factor is simple and universal. Ray-Ban sunglasses. Well, Ray-Ban-like, but close enough. John Nada, played by professional wrestler Rowdy Piper, stumbles upon a box of sunglasses. He hides the box, grabs a set for himself, and starts strutting around downtown LA. That's when his eyes are open to the darker truth. Piper sees subliminal messages hidden in all advertisements, magazines, and pretty much anything with words on it. Advertisements for new computers say to obey. Billboards for Caribbean cruises order you to marry and reproduce. Dollar bills hit the nail on the head by proclaiming this is your god. On top of this, Piper sees alien creatures disguised as the human elite. This sets Piper on a rampage to set humanity free. It's a hell of an allegory. The biggest showdown any cyberpunk can think of has to be Piper going up against his frenemy Frank, played by a legendary character actor, Keith David. After Piper's rampage, the media is portraying him as a homicidal maniac. Frank tracks him down, tosses him some cash, and tells him to leave town. Piper tells him to put on the glasses. Frank says nope. They just disagree and tensions are already high. When these two working class guys can't agree on something, they settle it one way. They fight. What ensues is one of the most insane brawls in cinema history. It's a combination of dirty street moves, professional wrestling, and ballet. What was originally supposed to be 20 seconds turned into a fight lasting over 5 minutes. Watching it feels like 15. You feel every punch, kick, and grab. There is so much drama. It builds, peaks, slows down to catch his breath, and then keeps going. David is great with the fake outs that catches Piper off guard, but Piper never lets up. At one point, Piper goes for a cheap shot to the groin that David blocks.
You dirty motherfucker!
He reminds Piper not to play that way when he continually knees him in the groin over and over again. Due to his tenacity, Piper gets David to wear the glasses and sees the truth. But man, did they just kick each other's ass. And yes, this sounds familiar because it was recreated for South Park. Rowdy Piper is named that for a reason. It's not just to sell t-shirts at WrestleMania. The man is no stranger to acting, but They Live is his first leading role. His performance is captivating and exciting. Early in the movie, you actually see his calm and polite demeanor. The dude is actually acting, and not bad. We're used to Dwayne Johnson being Mr. Movie Star now, but wrestlers in movies used to be cheap cash grabs and wooden performances. Suburban Commando. This isn't the case for Roddy Piper. The guy has a bit of range, and Carpenter knew how to get the nice guy performance before he got rowdy. After he stumbles upon the truth, he's through the door and ready to rock. It goes from zero to insane pretty fast. Sometimes the movie's like a video game where the objective is to shoot as many aliens as possible. It makes sense that years later when Duke Nukem politely stole one of Piper's most iconic lines.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Oh, yeah. By this point in cinema history, John Carpenter has gone down as one of the greatest in sci-fi and horror. He's got style that is engaging. The types of movie he chooses was always captivating. Oftentimes, they were commentaries out of his own psyche. They Live was no different. It's a popular opinion now, but at the time, Carpenter was screaming into the void. In the 1980s, the rich got richer, and the rest of us were distracted by the mammoth of cable television. Greed was the driving force. They Live is one of his best works. The concept came from the short story 8 O'Clock in the Morning by Ray Nelson, but was influenced by a lot of other creative factors. Being that the script was such an amalgamation, Carpenter gave writing credit to himself under the name of Frank Armitage, in homage to H.P. Lovecraft. What's strange is that They Live is like the hip secret of his filmography. It's kind of like how Led Zeppelin's Work in a Groove is only on live recordings, B-sides, and oddities. You gotta get turned onto it by someone else. They Live doesn't have the sleek action and impact of Escape from New York. It doesn't have the nostalgic fun of Big Trouble in Little China. And it doesn't have the, oh my god, I can't watch but I have to factor of The Thing. Dude, The Thing. They Live is its own beast. Sure, its high concept may turn off some viewers. As awesome as the fight is, it does slow down the movie and never quite gets the same groove. But who cares? They Live is a damn unicorn waiting to be ridden. What do you think? Let us know down in the comments below. And make sure to subscribe for all the latest cyberpunk videos, where we tell you what you've got to see.
Life's a bitch. She's back in heat.